Hey guys, it's Paulie from Diving with AOS. We're out on another COVID stay-at-home adventure to show you some of my stuff out of the collection. I've brought you to a real special spot today. So hey guys, I've brought you out to a historic Palomane coal mine. Well, the remains of what's left. It opened in December of 1900 and was considered one of the best gas producing coals in the area, which was in high demand in Newcastle and Sydney. So I've just taken you through that little tunnel out onto this platform. I grew up in this area, so as a kid I used to hang out here a lot. This was one of my favourite places in the area. Just in front of us over here, off this big drop, is the coal loading box. Now I'm going to show you a historic picture of what the place looked like from the other side of that. So the coals came from those rails up there under that pepper tree. There's a beautiful staircase at the side of the building here to get up that way, but it's all overgrown, so you have to do a bit of climbing around. But we'll go up to the clock tower and have a look in a sec. Okay, so we're just going to go down to the entrance of the mine and I'll show you some things I got, but on the way through, check out these little things. So where all the cables used to run back into the building. So anyway, pop around here. These runners on the ground here. Gets in. Oh, sticky beaks, my favourite. All stuck to my legs. Okay. So we come down here, and this is the entrance to the mine. Steel door on it here. John Burns. Look at that architecture and the structure. Beautiful. Gum tree there as old as this place. 1900 they opened this. I think it closed in 1968. I'll tell you about the mine disaster. So on Friday morning, July 1957, the town was rocked by a violent explosion that ripped through the local mine. There was a cave-in that caused a massive blast of air to rip through the mine shafts that survivors described as a cyclone, whose impact was that great that the waves threw men against the tunnel walls. Now I grew up in this area and I'm very passionate about it. I spent a lot of my childhood walking through here. So today I'm going to show you some of the relics my grandfather handed down to me. So my grandfather in his time was a watch repairer and used to fix clocks, watches, anything that ticked or tocked. Staying at his house was a nightmare because everything used to tick or bong all through the night. One of the things that I collected from him was this small stopwatch. I'll just give it a bit of a wind and you can actually see the second hand ticking over. There he goes. Amazing, eh? On the back, the engraving for SMR 74. I've got no idea who that is. It might be one of his clients who wanted the watch fixed. So another thing we found when we were cleaning out his house, my grandpa was enlisted in the American Army. All the boys back then smoked. We found his field lighter. This one's just your standard brass Zippo. There's no markings on it. But the other treasure was this this trench lighter, with special painting on it here. And oh, how did it work? There you go. You pulled this tube there, and the flint wheel came up to the top and sparked it there. There's no gas in them, so we're not going to light them. But if you wanted to extinguish it, you pushed it back in, and that little hood came over and extinguished the flame. Ingenuity at its best. This is one of my favourite pieces in the collection for that reason. So my grandfather had purchased one of the oldest houses in the area that was a shop. The next door was a blacksmith stall, and the opposite neighbour had tack rooms and stables to keep the horses. When they moved into the house, they did a bit of renovation to find a lot of old world crockery, china, knives and forks, and interesting artefacts jammed in amongst the cupboard walls and under the kickboards in the kitchen. A lot of it got dismissed at the time because no one looked out for these relics back then. It was pretty early on in the piece, but they kept a few and used them. And in his shed over the time, we used to look at this teapot sitting up on his shelf. That was from the original house. It's had the bee on the top has had an unfortunate accident, lost one of his wings, but it used to be rattling around inside, but between me and my sisters, we've managed to lose it. Have a look at the detail on the handle, how that was all formed. Beautiful bees on it. This is the actual patina. I've given the top a bit of a scrub today, but this dirt in here has been there forever. Fortunately, it's stamped on the bottom. I can't really see that, but we'll zoom in and have a look at it anyway. That's a beautiful piece. I believe they come with a sugar set and a honey jar as well. So when they turned up to Australia, they also liked to document what they did. So my grandfather was an avid photographer, so I got given a few of his early cameras. This is one of the best ones that I've seen in this leather pouch. Let's take it out together. Look, the dust is still on it from where I've taken it out of the pouch today. So you grab hold of this leather handle here and pull it out like that. Let's sit that there. This lever here pulls out like that. Look at that. Beautiful. Now I haven't done this, so let's pull this out together. I believe there's a few spare glasses in there. We'll put over here out the way. Let's just grab hold of it. Oh yeah, here we go. It pulls out. Oh, come on. Oh, look at that. Huh? Magic. It's got some slidey thing down here, must be control the light. This is the film winder up here, I would imagine. This is a point and shoot here. There's no SD card in this one. This was the, I don't know, I suppose a negative. And this is where you look through to see what was going on. See if you can have a look through here. Does that work? Operates like a periscope. You look through that and choose your target, and boom. Isn't that awesome? You have a photo. Look at the quality in there. It hasn't been open for years, and now we're just sitting here, me and you together, having a look at this stuff. I wish I knew how to put it back together. Ha! Now, like I said, he was in the war. It's in the motor pool division. He used to drive the big trucks across the borders to France, pick up supplies, champagne, vodka, back to Germany. Under heavy guard, of course. You know, in the late of night, they'd have those little things on the headlights so the overhead bombers couldn't see them. This is one of the tickets that he got, and it's a certificate from the Heidelberg military post, certificate of merit for Antoni Pazocca to certify that he successfully driven 43,000 miles without an accident in 1950. Now I don't know if that was one trip or several trips, because we have a few of these tickets that have different dates on them and different mileage, but that is pretty cool. While I've got you there on the subject of my grandfather's driving, another little treasure we have here. I'll just brush the dust off it. All that patina sitting in the cupboard for years, and slide this out. This is a real interesting. These are gorgeous. Let's put that over there. These were his glasses. Have a look at this, eh? Whoa. That's pretty special, huh? Check this out. They're not too bad, you know. They might look a little bit on the hoo-ha side, but that's all right. They did the job back in the day. Oh, sorry for scaring you guys. Right. Thanks for listening to me rabble on about my grandfather's memorabilia and artifacts. Here's the line-up on it. Let's have a look. We've got a Vario camera. Pretty good link. Come down the front here, there's his sunglasses from when he was driving the trucks. About 43,000 miles from the Heidelberg military post. Stop on the side of the road for a quick see with one of these trench lighters. But I don't believe the teapot was his. That's a bit too fancy. That was really nice, found in the shed too. That's a beautiful teapot. It's a nice buzzy bee on the front up there. Awesome. Hey, thanks for joining me on the talk about my grandfather's relics. Why don't you pop around the corner and come up the stairs, come in, and I'll show you some of the bottles from the area. Hey, come on in. Watch your step. I'll just show you downstairs first. Come on. So walk down these stairs. Watch your head. Have a look what goes on down here. Beautiful big pepper tree growing through the building. The clock tower. And all the inner workings of this mine. Awesome. I'm going to head up to the control room and I'll show you some of the bottles. Come in now, I'll tell you about this bottle. So the first one I'm going to show you is a nice Ross Green Healy Brothers from Wickham and Cessnock with the Maltese cross. Look at the colour on that and the crudeness of the glass. These guys are all hand blown. This is the mould here that stops just before the top, which tells you the top was applied after the bottle was blown. That's nice and strong colour, good embossing. It's got the cross on the bottom even. Have a look at that. So I've selected some bottles from the local area, got a few surprises in there too. These are all the Crown Seal top, so they would have had the steel cap on it with the cork in the top as opposed to the plastic ones today, and you use the bottle opener to get to it. This one's got a bit of a ding there, probably caused by someone trying to open it on a bench or a bar. This one is a nice and hard to find one, WG Glynn from Cessnock with the Rooster trademark. Look at that. I dug this bottle myself in a pit locally up this way. A funny stain there that doesn't move, and I'm quite happy to leave it there because I think it adds a bit of character to it. That's a nice bottle. So I just showed you the W Glynn from Cessnock Crown Seal with the Rooster trademark. Here's something a little bit more special. It's a Skittle Crown Seal. Again, applied top, the mould stops below here, but it's from Ryan and Rolf Cessnock. Each got the Rooster trademark as well. I dug this one personally myself. It was a thumping sound when my shovel hit it, and I wasn't sure what I got, but I tell you what, when it came out, I was pretty happy with that. It's made by the J. Ross people in Sydney. This one actually came in two sizes. I've only got the small one, but the one up from it's about that high, a little bit more fatter, same embossing on it, but that's any bottle with a rooster on it's a cracker of a bottle. So it's not from the area, and I've decided to take a bit overseas. When I was diving in Stockton, where the sailing boats from around the world used to pull up, you'd find bottles from everywhere. This one we found was from Cape York, South Africa. The property of the Olsen's Cape Breweries. That's a really nice heavy glass. Look at that. You can see the whittling from the wooden mould in here, and as you look up here you can see where they've applied the crown at the top and the glass is a bit droopy. So every couple of years, after I get sick of diving in the dirty cold water, look for bottles over this side of the world, we head over to Vanuatu to dive Port Vila Harbour. We've got some friends over there, and we ended up in the off season, and the dive shop actually asked us where we wanted to go, and we said somewhere where we can go find bottles. So they drove us around to a Catalina air base, and the only thing remaining there was the concrete pylons that stuck out from the shore. And I tell you what, when we got to the bottom you could see bullets, beer bottles from 1945, flagons, all sorts of military hardware down there. And sifting through the rubble, I found something different. It was this one here. Fraser and Neville Limited, with a line trademark, some shields on his side, and it was from Singapore. So I thought that was pretty cool. I got that back through customs with the growth on it. I was quite proud of my find. I showed a few guys at the airport. They said, yeah, Polly, no problem, you can bring that through as long as it's not full of alcohol. Turns out that the bottle was made in London by this company up here. So staying in Vanuatu in Port Vila, if you ever get a chance to go over there to Port Vila as the main harbour town, take a tour around the island, have a look, say good day to some of the locals. I met a cool, keen bottle collector on the other side of the island called Ernest. This is some of his gear, have a look at the photos. went over to see Ernest, I grabbed one of my bottles from home, New South Wales aerated water, Crown Seal, nothing special. There's a few bottle collectors, you do a bit of a trade. This is what I traded off for him. He gave me this nice, beautiful Coke bottle. It's from the Second World War. I think it has San Francisco, California on the bottom. One of the Cokes there. It's also been tied up with a bit of the coconut bamboo here. And has a date on it, 1941. Now Ernest, God bless his soul, nice fella, was teaching about the date codes that you find down in the hobble skirt here. There's a few numbers there. The last two numbers are the date the bottle was manufactured. Now these Coke bottles we found all over the harbour in Port Vila, all throughout the jungles from the Second World War came through. Interesting video to watch with loving the Jadeli in $1 Million Point. Check that one out. Okay, here's the lineup. You've got the Hurley Brothers Maltese Cross from Wickham and Cessnock in that nice deep Ross green. Look at him. The WD Glenn's cordial maker Cessnock with the Rooster trademark. Right next to the Ryan and Rolf with the Rooster trademark from Cessnock, the Crown Seal Skittle. And then from Africa we've got the Cape Osland Breweries. That's a nice heavy dark glass with applied top. And from the South Pacific, on the Catalina Air Base, we have the Fraser and Neville line trademark from Singapore, and the 1941 Coke bottle that Ernest gave me from California. Awesome. Thanks guys. Hey, thanks for having a chat with me about some of the stuff I have in my collection. This is a really cool place. Check out this brick here, he's about to fall down on my head, huh? It's been standing for over 100 years. It's a lovely spot in the Hunter Valley to come and visit and have a bit of a bushwalk. You never know what you might find around here. Until next time, stay safe, stay home. We can come out a little bit now. We're going to go back to work soon, so we'll get there. Another video shortly. Catch you then. Okay, so just on the way out of here, let's have a quick look up here, up these stairs, and we'll get from a higher vantage point. This has always fascinated me, how these rails and these springs come out over the top of the tracks here. And I guess they would have gone down over a building here where those supports were, and then across the train track which is in front of us, that's this line here, and then you got the coal loading boxes there. This is the train line that travels down the valley, through the tunnels we were at last week, past the dam, past the Bush Rangers cave, out to the swamps at Hexham, and to be loaded up on the bridge down there. So we just scooch on over here, walk along this nice edge. You can see, here's the stairs here. That was a dynamite shed. This is not marked, but it's a bit overgrown for lantana to walk down through that way. But what a really cool historic spot we're at. Honey.